communities.
Yes, but under that, they have 5B as part of their act. The object of the act, it says promote local economic development projects and alternative livelihood projects in communities affected by mining activities. That is there. So,
thank you, Mr. Minister. What the question I asked was so simple. I said in 2021, 2022, when was these seedlings supplied to these communities other than the June planting for Green Ghana seedlings? We only want to know, so it's properly documented, not what is stated in their law as their functions and what have you. So nobody will come and tell us that, oh, we supplied, only for us to go and check, and maybe it is the one you are running from your ministry that they are also hiding under. That's why I asked when. That's all that I want.
you said the one I'm running away from. Okay. I don't know what I'm running away from anyway. But then, the one we are running under our ministry. Yes, usually it's a constant supply that they do, and it's done throughout the raining season period, June, July, August, and then the lean season time, October, November. Yes. And this goes to the mining communities. But then he can add more to that.
So, auditors, can you help us with the explanation coming from the ministry? It meant that the 27 million was the 25% of the 312 million. That's the argument that is being advanced now. Is that the case?
Honorable Chairman, subsequent to the observation, and during our follow-up, they submitted documents, relevant documents to support the expenditure, which we duly examined and then verified.
Before you even get to examination of documents and verification, I'm talking about the 27 million you quoted here. The 27 million, what is it representing? Is it, as you stated in the report, that a component of the amount of the 312 which did not follow the law, or it is the 25% of the 312, 557, which had not been disbursed to the communities, the mining communities?
Honorable Chairman, the documents they submitted to us, which we reviewed, you could identify the expenditure to the communities, that they were expenditure that inured to the benefit of the communities as they were mentioning. So that is what we reviewed and we confirmed as okay, though they did not strictly follow the criteria that says that put it into an account and let it be spent in that respect. But from the documents that they submitted, it supported the argument that they were advancing. And so we just left it at that level.
Mr. Chairman, the auditors said they left it at the documentation stage, no field verification. Thank you. I think we will leave it at this point.
Honorable Isaac. Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I have a problem with the coffee.
Honorable members, listen to the question from Isaac.
I have a problem with the distribution formula. If you add the percentages you have provided here, it's 105%. So I'm wondering where, the 5% is coming from, and whether this information you have provided is correct or not. Because all the discussions are based on the formula you have provided, and in terms of percentages, up to 105%.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable is right. The percentage allocated for community schemes is actually 20% and not 25%, as per the law. Thank you. All right, so we should amend the report that the community development scheme should be 20%. All right, so now what I got from the explanation is that the 27 million which has not been disbursed is actually for the mining communities. But because you have not established the schemes and opened the account for them, you decided to spend the money directly from your office to their benefit. That is what I'm getting. Now, have you opened the account for them in consultation with Controller and Accountant General? Or you are not going to do that?
Yes, Honorable Chair, we have some, and in others, we are also putting measures in place to.
So you have an account for some of them?
Yes, please.
Since when?
21 of them since 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
So those accounts, if you go into those accounts now, you can find some money there.
It's for various projects, so it is up to them for them to manage it. However, I mean.
So, but you have been disbursing money to them.
Yes.
Those accounts.
Yes, regularly.
Yes, since 2017. So it means that these 27 million is actually for those communities for which no accounts have been opened.
Yes. Yes.
Now you have to go and open the account for those communities now.
Yes, Honorable Chair, immediately we will do that.
Fortunately, the auditors have confirmed that document you submitted indicated that you spend those expenditures on behalf of those communities. But that is not what the law envisages. So go and open the account for them. Do the disbursement to that account. Let the community people decide on what to use the fund for, but not you to use it on their behalf. Honorable Minister, have you taken the...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We agree to that, and we've even started the process towards that because we want to abide by the law.
Auditors, take note of this.
Well noted, Chairman.
Now, so how many communities are left for which you are going to open the accounts?
Minister, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. The mining communities are plenty. In fact, the issue is that because the mining communities are so plenty, it's even very difficult if the community development schemes are really effective. Because, for example, if you open a community mining scheme at Obuasi, or let's say Takwa, and you send money to them, it's only God knows who actually benefits from that money. Because they'll say, okay, we are using it to complete.
Have you drawn the attention of the ministry to that challenge?
Yeah, so that's the reason we are working on an amendment. We want to bring an amendment to the bill, to the law, actually.
But for now, that is what the law says, so comply with it.
Sure.
When amendment is done, you then implement the amended law.
So we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll do that, Chairman.
All right, let's move to the next one. Paragraph 789. Honorable Yusuf.
Chairman, I'm grateful. Chairman, the infraction is that the Minerals Development Fund, and for that matter, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, failed to account for an amount of 12,413,173 Ghana cedis. Now, the story is that in 2021, the Chief Director wrote to the fund asking for an amount of 6,089,433, which was released. He failed to account for that. Subsequently, he asked for another 6 million plus. At the time of audits, there wasn't any documents to account for this money. So auditors are asking the chief director to refund this money. Chief director, have you refunded this money?
The chairman, thank you very much. The chairman, we have worked with the auditors and we have submitted all documents, covering these expenses. And at the time of the audit, there was some communication related to the documents. And then I think the accountant guy who was in charge was also not in the country at the time. He was in Canada. So we have sorted everything with the auditors. Thank you very much.
I want to find out from the fund manager. In 2021, you disbursed 6 million. Was that accounted for before the subsequent disbursement was made?
Yes, please.
And if that was accounted for, why is it that the auditors were not giving documents to that effect, so that we could be told that only in 2022 that the accounts wasn't available?
Mr. Chairman,
my question is directed to the fund manager for now. Please.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, it was 2 periods in one auditing. So 20.
Yeah, so my point is this. The ministry asked for money from you, 6 million, and you paid. And then subsequently, it means that in a year's time, they came back asking for another money. That's the report I'm reading. And you gave them another money. I'm asking you whether before the second disbursement was made, they had accounted for the first disbursement. If not, on what basis did you do that?
Yes, please. The 2020, the 6 million was accounted for.
The 2021?
Before, the 2021 was,
so if that was accounted for, my expectation would have been that it wouldn't be part of this infraction. The auditors would have said that for 2021, they didn't see any problem with that, but 2022, there's a problem. How come that the two were put together and that they were not accounted for? That's my point.
Mr. Chairman, they did 2-year period auditing in 1 year. Yeah.
Auditors, I don't know whether you are getting my point. You said that for the 2 years, they've not accounted for it. My expectation is that if you ask for a disbursement of a sum of money first and it was disbursed, before you count for a subsequent one, you should have accounted for the first one. Are you with me? And if that was done, I don't expect you to put the two together and say that the two figures have not been accounted for. What do you have to say?
Honorable Chair, at the time of the audit, we were doing 2021, 2022 audits. And so this expenditure relates to, this disbursement actually relates to the 2 years. But they did not supply or they did not provide the documents to support this particular disbursement. And later on, when we did our follow-up, those documents have been given to us and we have examined them. So as of today, the expenditure has been duly accounted for.
Director, I want to know the activities that this money was used for.
Yeah, let me, before I, in fact, when we apply to our agencies to support us, it's generally the ministry, asks agencies to support us, and sometimes they give us support, So, but let me explain that when MDF would have given us money, we will spend the money and cover all the cover it with all our vouchers, everything. And this will be situated in the ministry. Unfortunately, when the audit people will come, they are not, when they are auditing MDF, they are not coming to us to audit the 6 million that we took from them and how we spent it. You get it? So that's the lapses. So sometimes you are saying that, oh, where is the document covering this and all that? So that's the difficulty, that arises, in terms of the communication. But 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 generally is to support the ministry. The ministry does a lot of monitoring before all this the implementation of the projects. We go to visit the community mining development schemes. The distribution of the seedlings, we monitor it, and all that. And we need a lot of resources to be able to do that. So we ask our agency MDF to support us.
Chief Director, that's very interesting. Your budget was approved for these years. Was this captured in the budget that you were going to seek support from your agencies, for which you have now received this huge sums of money from them, and not for anything, for monitoring? The question is to Chief Director.
Yes, it's unfortunate. If the money we get from whatever budget, we don't get the money actually. I can remember a particular quarter, we got only about.
Chief Director, my question is specific. Was this captured in your budget and approved? If no, then that's an infraction.
It was not captured in our budget.
So you didn't spend within budget? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, Director, I want to find out on what legal framework or what law allows you to write to your agencies asking for such monies?
There's no law to that. But then, Honorable Member, like the Chief Director said, some of these are for monitoring and evaluation aspect. And once in a while, emergencies come up. And our ministry is an implementation ministry. When we have projects, we must be seen to be implementing them, and also by inspecting, monitoring, and evaluating them. And that is why these issues come up. So it's not that it's a constant thing, but on an emergency, when these issues happen, we have to. Then.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Minister. Let me find out from the fund manager. In 2021, the 6 million you gave to the ministry as a support, where did you get the money from?
So it was from the head fund. That was deducted before.
Is it part of the 27 million that you did not disburse?
No, not part of it.
So apart from the money, that is the mineral royalty fund. That's mineral royalty that you disburse based on that formula. You have other sources of income.
No, please.
You don't have any other source of income.
No, please.
So it means that whatever mineral royalty that you receive, there is a portion that is retained at the fund for your administrative work. So this 6 million you gave to the head ministry, is it as part of your administrative allocation?
Yes, partly, and we have a research component that also will give. So it's not part of the 27 million captured or those that are supposed to go to our beneficiaries.
So if I understand you well, the 312 million which came, you received a portion as the Mineral Development Fund. Can you tell this committee how much was your allocation?
The fund retained 2% for management as a management charges, so including compensation.
So there is also a research component. How much is the research one?
It's 5%.
5%. Is there any other one that you retain at the?
No, please.
So in all, you receive 7%. of the fund?
Not really.
How much?
Because 40% of the research also goes to the Geological Survey Authority.
No, I'm talking about whatever mineral royalty that you receive in a year. 7% is retained. 5% for research, which you further disburse, but 2% for administrative expenses.
Yes,
So
please.
only all 7%.
No, it is not 7% because the first 5%, which is the research component, 40% of that is given to.
So in effect, 60% remain with the.
No.
Okay.
Okay, 60% or 5% remain with the.
That's right. Which is about 3%.
Yes, please.
Plus your 2%, making 5%.
Yes, please.
So if I take 312 million, I'll calculate 5%. I'll know how much has come to you. Isn't it?
Yes.
It is out of that you gave 6 million to them.
Yes, please.
Let's see how much is the total you received. So 312 million by 5%, 15.6 million. And you gave 6 million to the ministry.
Yes, please.
Wow, you are so generous, eh?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Yes, so Chairman, thank you. So my concern is that the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, when they come to Parliament, you bring us their budget for approval, and they would have factored in monitoring and evaluation, or whatever heading they give it. Now this is approved, and then you now write to your agency asking for money for same activity when there's no any law that mandates you to do that. And you just admitted, my experienced deputy minister, that you breach the law. So if you have breached the law, what do you think this committee should do?
I wish there was no Galamsey in Ghana, so that we will not be bedeviled with these challenges or wahala. Because, honorable member, if you were in our shoes and you are told that somewhere in the north, some people have descended, or even on the white voter, people have descended in there using chamfang, and the media, everybody is talking about it. At that time, most often we close our eyes as to whether we have money or not, because we are supposed to do whatever we can to stop them. The military is taxed to go there, but then it is at our ministry's expense. Emergencies, our expense. We demand for more. We don't get, but we have to do the work. So if our agency can help us, even when a Galamsey mine or pit collapses, everybody's talking about us. Apiate, we had to rise up to the challenge. Even before donors came in, we were already there. All these have not been budgeted for, but we have to do the work. So, honorable member, it's not easy, but we would still do the work. I understand. Maybe from tomorrow we'll have to advise ourselves, because honorable member is very much concerned. We are also concerned. How we wish what we demand for, we get. At least then we will not overburden our sister agencies like that.
Minister, I'm sure the public is listening to all of us, and I leave that for them to judge. But let me draw your attention that the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and for that matter, Galamsey didn't start under your administration. It started long before that. And there's no any evidence anywhere that previous administrations are taking money from agencies for such activities. And so to justify by saying that because of emergencies and what have you, That is why you are taking this money illegally. I do not buy that idea. And I'm not saying that when there are emergencies, you shouldn't attend to them. Others had done that before you. And I expect that whatever the means by which they did that without breaching any law should be a guiding line for us. Chairman, I leave it here. Auditors, can we verify all what they have said?
Honorable Chair, the documents were made available to us. So currently, we can say that they have accounted for the total amount.
All right, so, Minister, once you are reviewing the law to bring an amendment, it looks like the share of the mineral royalty that goes to the MDF is too much for them. A portion should be ceded to the ministry. Yes. So that become legal. You don't go begging them all the time to give you money. So you can make that proposal if it is debated on the floor and approved. Then it becomes one of the sources of money to the ministry itself. Let's move to the next one. Paragraph 792 is for Forest Services Division. So that falls under Forestry Commission, all right? Okay. So this one is about unearned salary, about 170,000. It involved 15 employees of the division who did not earn the salary, but they have received the salary. So the auditors have recommended to Chief Director to ensure that the Executive Director recovers the money with interest from the beneficiaries at the Bank of Ghana interest rates. Can you update the committee on how much you have recovered from these 15 employees?
Honorable Chair, thank you. I think from the 170,000, there was reconciliation with the auditors that brought the figure to a little over 133,000. And so far, a little over 34,000 has been retrieved.
Auditors, can you confirm that the new figure is 133,000 and 34,000 has so far been recovered?
Honorable Chair, the actual recovery now is 34,243.51. The reconciliation resulted in a reduction of 36,000. So currently the balance left is 99,437.09.
Are those people still at posts?
Honorable Chair, no.
So, but you are still recovering?
Yes, we are still recovering. As required, we've been able to locate some of them. We are recovering. I think this happened as a result of the difference in their SNIT date of retirement and then the one at the controller.
Okay.
So then you end up having the people on retirement, but because their SNIT date is different from what is controller issues, you have some monies advanced to them as payments. We've been able to locate them, and then we are trying to recover the amount.
When was the last time any of them
What was the last time?
make
When was the last
recovery?
time? This year. I think late last year.
So, per your estimation, how soon or how long
Yeah. Okay. So
you recover the money?
all right, it's okay. All right. Honorable Chair, we are working, hoping that we will be able to recover the amount. Some of them actually, the issue is that some of them actually worked during the period that we are now asking them to refund the amount, and they are now on retirement. We are hoping that we will spread the money and be able to recover them. By the end of the year, we should recover the total amount.
All right, so we'll encourage you to continue to recover the money from these beneficiaries. The next one is paragraph 794 on served bond term. According to the auditors, one Miss Nana Esiama, I think Yvette Nana Esiama, an administrative officer at the Forest Services Division regional office in Accra, was granted a 1-year steady leave with pay to pursue a graduate certificate program in human resource management at the Cambridge College of Applied Art and Technology, Ontario, Canada. Now, the study leave was extended from September 2021 to April 2022, but she failed to return and was also paid an unearned salary between May 2022 and July 2022, resulting in a total amount of 74,742 Ghana cedis. An amount of 11,688 had been recovered, leaving a difference of 63,073 Ghana cedis. You are asked to recover the money from Ms. Yvette Nana Siama. Have you been able to do so?
Honorable Chair, we've been able to recover an additional 10,000 Ghana cedis, leaving a balance of 53,000, just a little over 53,000. And we have assurances that we'll be able to collect the full amount by the end of the year.
Is she back now in Ghana?
No.
So how do you recover the money?
It's a relative. I think one of the relatives are making due the payments. To the
Okay.
commission.
So do you have an agreed schedule by which the recovery should be made?
Yes, Honorable. There's
All
a
right.
schedule.
So go according to that. If she fails to do that, she's not here, but the one who is standing in for her can be reported to the police. All right, so the next one, paragraph 797, Honorable Ajay Boatin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This infraction is captured as ineligible payment of endangerment allowance, amounting to 18,200. The auditors noted that the executive director paid this said amount to 5 managers who did not qualify for endangerment allowance as provided for in their collective bargaining agreement. The recommendation was that the chief director was to ensure that the executive director recovered the amounts involved. So this is a simple matter of whether you have been able to get them to recover those amounts.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, this amount has been recovered fully.
Auditors, can you confirm what he's saying?
Honorable Chairman, the amount has been fully recovered.
Chairman, that will be all for me. Thanks.
Thank you very much. The next one is paragraph 800. It's on non-deduction of payee, 73,388. The auditors noted that the Forest Services Commission failed to deduct an amount of 73,387.94 from one Mr. Andrews Ose Okra, a director at the Forestry Commission Training Center, Kumasi. In 2020, 23.7, 23,700, 2021, 24,800, 2022, January to November, 24,818, giving a total of 73,387. So the auditors have recommended to Chief Executive of the Commission to recover the amount from Mr. Andrews Osei Okran. Have you recovered the money from him?
Honorable Chair, salaries and payment and emoluments are managed by the controller. So social security and payee and those deductions are managed by a controller, not the Forestry Commission.
Okay.
So based on the instructions we've written to controller to take steps to retrieve that money, rather than, because the commission doesn't collect senate or payee, deductions.
How come he is receiving the full money or salary without tax being deducted? How come?
Honorable Chair, the staff in question, has been with the Forestry Commission for some time, and then he asked for leave of absence to be able to serve the nation as a deputy minister for Ashanti region. So he was granted that permission to do that. And so during that period, his salaries were managed by the special accounts, not directly by through the Forestry Commission. So I think upon resumption, then we had this problem where the deductions were not made. I am not privy to how deductions are made when someone becomes a minister. I don't have that information, but that is the particular case.
When he was a minister, was he still being paid under the salary voucher of the Forest Commission?
No. We didn't, it wasn't paid under Forestry Commission.
So, auditor, this should have been covered under Regional Coordinating Council, Ashanti Region, but not the Commission. Because if the salary voucher is still that of the Forest Services Commission, then this capture is correct. But if it was being paid not under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources salary voucher, then it should have been under Regional Coordinating Council, and that should be under Ministry of Local Government or Office of the President. So have you received any feedback from the Controller and Accountant General?
Not yet. No.
When did you write to them?
Wait a minute, check the date.
When?
I think March 22nd, 2023.
And so,
but I'm informed by my officer that there have been some engagement.
Okay.
And then they hope to recover the amount.
all right.
I realize that the period of this audit, Mr. Okra was not a minister. So, yeah, he was minister up to 2016. Mr. Okra was minister up to 2016. So during this, he wasn't a minister.
I think the honorable member is right. 2020, was he a minister? No. 2021, 2022. So that is why it was captured under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. So the report is okay. So it's the controller that have to do them. So where is Mr. Andrews now?
He is a director at the Forestry Commission Training Center in Kumasi.
Currently?
Yes.
Is he aware of this audit report?
Yes, he's aware.
So
I think from what I'm gleaning, some deductions are being made from his salary to take care of this.
But you can't confirm.
No,
Auditors, kindly do a follow-up. In fact, do a follow-up. Let's see if controller is doing some deduction.
Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable Sampson, paragraph 803.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Wildlife Division. I think the issue here has to do with on-end salary, separated staff, an amount of 149,000 plus Ghana cedis. 11 staff involved. I won't mention the names. So the recommendation was simple, the chief director to recover the amount with interest. Has that been done?
Yeah, Honorable Chair, this just like the earlier one at the Forest Services Division, this was occasioned by the differences in the date of birth from Senate and controller. A reconciliation was done to reduce the amount from the 149,000 to 77,327. So far, we've retrieved 9,381, and there are steps being taken to retrieve the balance of 67,944.
You tell the committee the steps you are taking to retrieve the money, because the recovery rate is very slow. What type of steps are you taking?
No, first you have to. There are people who are on the 11. These are 11 officers. There are people who are on retirement, so you have to locate them, write to them, and then that's how come we'll be able to get. And then subsequently, we hope that at the end of the year we should be able to get the amount.
I think the initial process is a key process. After the initial process, you need to sign an agreement with them.
Yes,
and then you take the money. But if you sign the agreement, they will have told you the period that they can pay the money.
Some have brought standing orders to make sure that the money is retrieved from time to time. So we are working on it.
What are the timelines? Tell the committee, when do you think you can retrieve all this amount?
I said by the end of the year we should be able to retrieve the amount.
By the end of the year, all the 77,000 will retrieve, according to him. So, auditors, can you confirm that they took 7,000? There's a good process, and note that they say that by their next audit they will have retrieved all the money. Can you confirm that?
Honorable Chair, confirm.
We are in your hands. Yes, they said that the amount, they did reconciliation, and the total amount outstanding now is about 77,000. They got 7,000, and they put steps to retrieve or recover all the amount before the end of this year.
All right. Let's move to the next one, paragraph 805. Honorable Sophia.
Thank you, Chairman. Paragraph 805. The auditors noted that Ms. Joan Eduyeboa, an assistant manager at the Wildlife Division, Shire Hills Resource Reserve, was granted a 2-year steady leave with pay to pursue a Master of Business Administration program at the University of Canada West from September 2019 to September 2021. During the course of study, Ms. Joan Eduyeboa was paid salaries and allowances totaling 91,827, but resigned on 11th February 2022 without serving her board term. Management, however, recovered a total of 36,235.39, leaving a difference of 55,592 outstanding. The recommendation is that the Chief Director of the Ministry should ensure that the Executive Director recovers the outstanding amount. Have you recovered the amount, please?
Honorable Chair, we've recovered 20,000 so far out of the 55, leaving a balance of 35,592,000, and we hope to collect the rest of the money based on a payment schedule we have here by the end of the year.
The recommendation further stated that you recover it with interest. So I hope the 20,000, you are working the interest on it.
Yes, they will work on that to be able to, based on the payment schedule we have, we'll be able to work on the interest.
Auditors, please, can you confirm if they have recovered the 20,000, leaving 30,000 plus?
Honorable Chair, 20,000 has been recovered, leaving a balance of 35,592.
Chairman, I think that will be all for them.
The last one for the ministry is for Office of the Administrator of Students, paragraph 809. Honorable Queenster.
Thank you, Chairman. Overpayment of salary worth 4,485. Yeah, it was noted that Mr. Charles Kofi Minla was wrongly paid on a different salary level from January 2020 to October 2021. And the recommendation was for the Chief Director to ensure that the money is retrieved with interest. Has it been done?
Honorable Chair, the money has been retrieved. Thank you.
With interest?
Well, the main amount, the principal amount has been paid. We are working on the interest. We gave him a payment plan, so we are working on the interest. But the principal amount has been retrieved.
Auditors, can you confirm for me, please?
Honorable Chair, the amount of 4,485 CDs has been recovered.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable. So that will be all for the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. You are discharged.
Thank you, Chairman, and your committee members. We are most grateful for listening and understanding to our plight. Next time when the budget period is up in Parliament and we are asking for more, I know Chairman and the committee members will support us as much as possible.
Don't forget, this year we only give you a vote on account. The actual budget will be prepared by the NDC, so we'll take care of the ministry. We'll take care of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources.
That decision will only be taken by God. Me and you, we don't know. That is it.
All right, thank you very much. Honorable members, we don't have any other ministry for today. Agric is not in. Employment is also not in. So, but the committee is sitting tomorrow at 9 to continue, and I'll tell you the ministry that will be coming tomorrow. On that note, the committee sitting is adjourned to 9 o'clock tomorrow in the forenoon.
Hello, I'm Esther Gitu Yuwat. Welcome to Africa 54. Here's what's coming up. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visits Angola as he wraps up his four-nation Africa trip. Why does Russian growing influence across Africa raise eyebrows? We'll hear from an analyst on Moscow's interests in the continent. And the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation unveils its annual letter for 2024 as it announces its largest budget to date to fund projects in low-income countries. All this and much more coming up on today's Africa 54. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is on a